And the only prescription is more cowbell.
All right, guys. We are here for day number 2 of a sovereign citizen in court. I really don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting this video to come out yesterday. I got mine from Old Squishy Gardner. I know Colin, Mike, Lone Wolf, all the normal court channels will probably cover this. This is a guy who's been in court 2 times before this. Both times he acted like a moron. It's the kid who sat there with like his squad of other dumbasses and wanted to like shit talk the judge. And then when the judge is like, yeah, you need to stop talking or you're going to be held in contempt, he's like, I'm going to leave now. And I don't want to call the judge soft, but she was pretty soft. She just let them all leave. I think Old Squishy Gardner included a few clips from the 2 previous cases in this one. And we're going to watch those just for those who kind of aren't familiar with this case. So let me know in the chat if anything's all goofy. And because apparently we need a call to action, the pinned comment is my 3rd channel. If you guys want to go subscribe to that, it's science fiction, movies, TV, games. That's the other stuff that I do. But yeah, if you want to, go subscribe over there. And here we go. Yeah, he called the judge. One judge is Jennifer, and another one has a different name, and he tried to shit talk both of them. Here we go.
I'm done. So I mean, is there anything else?
You're not done, Mr. Schuster. So I think are you ready on Mr. Schuster's case, Ms. McDonald?
Well, Mr. Schuster, just to give Your Honor a little bit of background on this one, Mr. Schuster is representing himself. The court has previously gone through the waiver of right to counsel. When we were here, I believe the last hearing, Mr. Schuster gave an indication that he wanted to resolve these matters. So I have drafted a plea form with the city's offer on it. I just am not sure how to get it to him. I can certainly send it to him in the chat. I just don't know if he has the ability to download that and sign it if in that respect. So
hi, ma'am. How are you today?
Hold on a second. So let's the preliminary matter. This is Jonathan Schuster, 4A0525748. So it sounds like Ms. McDonald's trying to get you some documents, Mr. Schuster.
Yeah, so for the record, I reserve all rights and retain them. I am making a special visitation for the matters pertaining to Jonathan Schuster, for I am the beneficiary. I had mailed out some paperwork over to the prosecution as well as submitted it to the court. Have you received those, ma'am?
So I've received 2 motions from Mr. Schuster. Have you?
Yeah, the 2 motions as well as the affidavit, as well as the certified copy of the. So you got that paperwork? Were you able to read it?
I have 2 motions. One was, both were received today.
Right. You should have received an affidavit as well.
I don't see any affidavits.
It's on the back.
The affidavit was received at the same time that the motions were submitted. And so.
And I don't know that we've received anything. I'm checking with my office right now, but I don't see anything in our files.
I emailed to Ms. McDonald this morning.
You did, I'm sorry, what, Madam Clerk?
I emailed to you a copy of the first motion to dismiss and the affidavit proof it's called.
Yep, there was a motion for dismissal as well as a motion for show cause, as well as the affidavits.
Hold on, Mr. Schuster. Hold on, Mr.
And
Schuster.
so those were sent over
Hold on, Mr. Schuster.
as well as submitted to the court.
Mr. Schuster, hold on a second. Ms. McDonald's getting caught up. I do have your affidavit.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I said that. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, did you send that to my email or did you send it to the office email? Because I don't have anything from you today. Except the orders from Mr. Bailey Garrison and the borrow out information from Mr. Goodwin.
Okay, if you need time to get that, that's fine. I just require that due process is, that we.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Schuster. There's going to be plenty of time for you to talk.
Yes. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, sending it again to your email, Ms. McDonald.
It's 11:06.
There we go.
Also,
For those of you who don't know what I'm doing off screen, I'm trying to. Erica is not showing up on Restream, but is showing up on YouTube. So I'm trying to figure that out, and I got a cool new little thing to hold my phone while I'm streaming so I can actually monitor chat in its entirety. And if we're going to be honest, this guy's acting much more polite than he acted the last two times he was in this court. Which is crazy because the last two times he was actually in the courtroom and now he's on Zoom.
the prosecution, I've never received anything from you as well, but there is an email on for contact information, so you can send that over via email if you have anything to send to me.
We sent you discovery at both addresses that you gave to the court. So they were physical copies because there's digital evidence as well. That
Well, I just have never received anything from you.
well, it went out to your mail. So I don't know what to tell you about that.
Did you check,
Yeah,
Mr. Schuster?
I mean, I haven't received anything.
That's not my question. My question is, are you checking your mail regularly?
Oh, I definitely look out for mail regularly.
Okay, and does the court have your current address?
So he updated it, Your Honor. We
Say
actually
no.
had this
Right,
situation
right.
issue a couple of weeks ago, or actually almost a month ago, where we had sent out full discovery to the defendant, and then he indicated that that wasn't his address. So we sent out another packet of full discovery to him to the address that he updated. Let's see, the one on Kenyon Street.
2318 California Avenue.
You gave us on January 27th, apartment G201 in Seattle.
You're talking about on January 27th when the judge denied subject matter jurisdiction that day?
So the address that you gave to the court on January 27th was this apartment G201. So
The same day that
that
the
was the
judge
Mr. Schuster,
denied subject
did
matter
you-
jurisdiction.
Mr. Schuster, is that the
Mhm.
address you gave on January 27th?
I don't recall, but I do have, somewhere she can send it to, so
Well,
that
we're not gonna play the game of you updating your address every court date so that you can avoid service of discovery.
I'm just letting you know that I didn't receive it, and I don't recall, so I'm giving you an address, but
You recognize that address?
which address?
Can you read that one more time, Ms. McDonald?
Yes, the address on January 27th that he requested discovery go out to was apartment G201 in Seattle. The one prior to that he requested was apartment C in Kennewick, Washington. All discovery was sent to both of those addresses.
Do you have the ability to get mail at the Kenyon Street address, Mr. Schuster?
No, I'm not sure why she sent that there.
Because that's the address you gave the court at the end of January.
Well, in January, the judge had denied subject matter jurisdiction, and so the matter should have been dismissed anyways.
So the judge denied your motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. The court
No,
found that there
no,
is
she
subject
did.
matter.
It was on the record. She denied subject matter jurisdiction. She didn't deny my motion. That wasn't until later. But regardless, you did receive the two motions as well as the affidavit today. Is that correct, ma'am?
I did. Did Ms. McDonald, have you gotten that yet?
I just
Perfect. Have
So-
you
so Mr.
have you had a chance to read over that, Miss?
So
Okay.
obviously Ms. McDonald has not had a chance to read over it.
Oh, I was referring to
provided to
you,
her.
ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Schuster, let me talk. So do you remember doing the waiver of counsel on December 16th? Where you said you wanted to go forward representing yourself?
Also, for you guys who don't know, I also stream this on Twitch. And yes, you're the only person that ever goes to Twitch, and I appreciate it. And then you come back to YouTube. I appreciate it. But yeah, he tried this whole thing in court. And now he's kind of going back to being an asshole. He has no idea what he's talking about. And then anytime the judge is like, okay, well, you're doing this wrong. Do you want to just be held He's like, oh, why are you threatening me? Why are you threatening me? I'll file a lawsuit against you, or I'll charge you for assault. I'll charge you for kidnapping. And it's like, dude, you're being an asshole. Like, do better. It's super easy to have mail forwarded. You can do it on the app. Yeah, like, it seems like he's trying to play the, I'm going to tell you this address. You're going to send it there. And then the next court date, I'm going to say, oh, I moved. I changed addresses. Here's my new address. You can send it there. I pinky promise that I'll get it. And then now he's trying to change his address again.
Well, from the very beginning
I hate his face.
of this
Remember
matter,
signing this piece of paper saying you were representing yourself?
from the beginning.
That's not my question, Mr. Schuster.
Well, I'm answering your question. I would like
I
to
don't want a
speak.
narrative. Yes or no?
Thank
Do you
you.
remember signing this piece of paper?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I
well,
don't know what
your
paper you're
signature is
showing me.
here on this piece of paper.
I'm not sure what paper you're showing me because
Okay.
it's very far from the camera and
So,
it's
Mr.
just
Schuster-
very hard to read because it's blurry
Okay.
from this
So
angle.
let me read it to you.
So I don't recall.
On December 16th, 2024, you went through a colloquy with Judge Grant. During that colloquy, you engaged in a series of questions about your familiarity with the rules of criminal procedure, criminal courts in general, the Constitution, and so on. At the end of that, you indicated that you have read and completed the form, you requested the court to allow you to represent yourself, and you signed it and dated it and noted you reserve all rights. On that form, one of the things that you are asked to do and acknowledge and understand is that you will be treated as though you are an attorney and you will be expected to follow the court rules as though you were an attorney. One of those rules that you're expected to follow is the Lake Forest Park Municipal Court local rules around how to file and the proper notice of filing motions. The local court rule requires that if it's a motion that is not set on the date of trial, that the expectation will be that you give 21 days notice and properly serve the other party. These motions dropped off, emailed, whatever to the court the day of and the day before the hearing are not properly noted under the local court rules. Nonetheless,
Well, this isn't a trial, so
nonetheless, I am going to let you know that I have reviewed these motions. And if it's okay with you, Ms. McDonald, I'm going to go ahead and let Mr. Schuster know that I reviewed these motions. There's two of them, a motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction, and another motion that is essentially a show cause motion for the prosecutor to appear and show cause as to why there is subject matter jurisdiction in this case. And what I want to tell you on the record right now is that Lake Forest Park Municipal Court is authorized to hear misdemeanor and gross misdemeanor cases along with violations of local ordinances. We are not authorized to hear federal matters. Your assertion that we are not authorized to hear federal matters is absolutely correct. Nonetheless, these are not federal matters. Federal courts do not have exclusive jurisdiction over travel and driving offenses. Proceeding with this case is not a due process violation of the Washington or the federal Constitution, and so I'm going to deny your motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. Turning to your motion for show cause, you cite an RCW that outlines district court jurisdiction, which is not even applicable in this case, but nonetheless, Lake Forest Park Municipal Court is the correct venue for misdemeanor and gross misdemeanor driving offenses that occur in Lake Forest Park, Washington. The constitutional right to travel is not abridged by states and municipalities' adoption of regulations concerning driving privileges, and therefore I'm going to deny your motion for show cause against the prosecution. I'm also denying your motion to dismiss in that motion, finding that this court, again, does have subject matter jurisdiction in this case will proceed. So those motions are denied. I am also not really interested in hearing that you have yet a third new address for Ms. McDonald to send discovery to. So at this point,
it was never a third. You know, in the beginning, you had the correct address. It's no longer the correct address.
then it's
And
not the
so-
correct address. If it's no longer correct, then it's not correct. You've given a
Well,
Kennewick
as of
address.
recent, as of literally not that long ago.
So when
so-
did the Kenyon Street address become a bad address?
Shortly after that hearing.
I want to say within the last month-ish.
So sometime after January 27th, the Kenyon Street address became a bad address, correct?
And you said the motion to show cause was denied on what grounds?
Okay, so if the address went bad a month ago, and it is March 6th, and it went bad a month ago, that puts us at like February 6th. And his shit was on what? I forgot already. The 27th, 29th. So immediately after court, his address magically changed.
I mean, it's not been properly filed. You did not comply with the court rules, but even allowing you to file and reviewing it, it is not, there's no basis for me to grant it. It is not legally sufficient to grant your motion.
To prove that you have subject matter jurisdiction.
So first of all, the prosecutor doesn't have to prove that the court has subject matter jurisdiction. I am ruling and telling you that this court does have subject matter jurisdiction for the reasons I previously stated.
I can
And
tell
this
the
is a
court.
court of record, correct?
Is a court of record.
You said this is a court of record?
It certainly is a court of record.
Ah, I see.
We are on the record now. So that being said, it sounds like Ms. McDonald has a plea offer to send you if you want to entertain that. Would you like her to send you that plea offer? And if so, what is the best way for her to do that?
Well, she's allowed to send me whatever she would like, but I do have an address since I want to make sure that, everybody has the correct information.
What is your current correct address?
The mailing address would be I believe that's Southwest D.
Unit D?
I don't know how they label it, but it's just D is what I've seen. And then that's Seattle, Washington, 98116.
How do you live there but not know how they label it?
Oh, I didn't say I live there. I just get mail there.
Is that a friend's house? What is that?
Family.
What was that?
Family. And so just so I'm clear,
Here comes dumb questions.
you're saying that the right to travel and privacy is not a federal matter, and that
I'm
you're
saying
saying
that-
that you have the jurisdiction to hear a matter that involves this.
I am saying that there are federal constitutional rights, there are state constitutional rights. Sometimes one, sometimes both, sometimes none are implicated in a criminal case. I'm saying that the Lake Forest Park Municipal Court has jurisdiction over driving offenses that are misdemeanors and gross misdemeanors occurring in the city of Lake Forest Park, Washington. And that the fact that there are federal constitutional rights associated with travel does not preclude the city of Lake Forest Park from filing or prosecuting these cases.
Well, so the right to move freely, which is part of liberty and, a right, because no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property. You're saying that isn't a federal matter?
I'm saying that there are multiple layers of jurisdiction that involve travel. And that the fact that there are
So this is the thing that pisses me off about sovereign citizens, where everything is absolute until it comes down to something that they don't agree with, then it's not absolute. So life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Let me throw a different background on here because I hate the default. So life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By that, he thinks that's absolute. And it's not. So him saying, oh, you can't take my property, it's in the private, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you do something to get it taken away, then yes, it can be taken away. Same thing with, oh, well, it's federal right to travel. First off, I break it down all the time. Sinise versus Roe, go check it out. It's a great 3 brief bullet points of what the right to travel actually means. And shocker, it's not getting in your vehicle willy-nilly with no license. And if I remember correctly, this is also he has like a interlock device on his car that isn't installed and should be. And that's also why he's in court. But if the state makes a law that says, oh, well, the Supreme Court says that we can require you to have a driver's license. We're going to do that. We're going to make a law that says you need a driver's license to drive a car, vehicle, truck, moped, motorcycle, yada, yada. That's the state's issue. That's the state's law that you're breaking. So why would that be federal? Like, on what planet would that be federal? Oh, that's right. It wouldn't.
Our federal rights around travel does not preclude Lake Forest Park Municipal Court from enforcing state and local ordinances. So what do you want to do on your case today, Mr. Schuster? Is it your intention to go to trial next week? Is it your intention to entertain a plea offer from Ms. McDonald?
Well, I just want the court to know that any judgment issued without proper subject matter jurisdiction is void and may be challenged at any time.
And you're free to
This
appeal
court
any ruling from
lacks
this
the
court.
authority to hear this case, and proceeding further would result in an unenforceable judgment. Therefore, this must be dismissed.
You are free to appeal any ruling this court makes. You can certainly, since you represent,
Most definitely.
how to do that. Nonetheless, we have to figure out what you're doing today on your case. It's your readiness hearing, where you tell us if you want to go to trial next week or if you want to entertain a plea offer from Ms. McDonald. And I'm
Well,
happy-
as I've stated, this case should be moved to the proper courtroom, which it's not.
in the
And
proper
so
courtroom, and that's
if
not
it's
happening. And Mr.
not,
Schuster,
if it's
motion
not
has been
transferred,
denied.
I do,
hearing
it
further-
should be dismissed.
I'm
And
not
if it's,
entertaining further motions to dismiss. Ms. McDonald, go ahead.
Yes, and Mr. Schuster, I sent to you in the chat because that is the only way for me to get that to you right now.
oh no, you have my email. You
The
got the information on the motions there. So you have the email.
This is another thing that pisses me off about sovereign citizens. Let's make myself large again, just in case I decide to make this into a short. So, sovereign citizens, you can get a motion to dismiss all day. But if you keep coming to court and keep putting in motions to dismiss, that's just a copy of the previous motion to dismiss that you already got shot down. What are you doing? Like, what kind of legal genius is like, oh, this already got shot down 2 times. I'm going to submit the exact same motion to dismiss and hope it works this time. This goes just down the line of sovereign citizens intentionally trying to waste the court's time in hopes the court just gives up. And in this case, it's his 3rd time. I don't think they're going to give up.
Listed above. I don't really know how to use Zoom like that, and so sending anything over through chat like this is just it's difficult. So email would be the best way if you want to get that to me faster. But of course, you have an address now that I'd be able to get the mail that you're saying you've sent already. But no worries. So.
I'm using Zoom the same way we used it at the last hearing when we sent you documents and you were able to chat back and forth with me. So it's in that chat.
We didn't have a back and forth.
We did.
Chat. No, we didn't.
So there is a document in the chat for you to open and take a look at, and that is the city's plea offer. We are agreeing to dismiss 2 charges for a plea to 1 with a credit for time served recommendation. So if you'd like
as I stated, you can email it so that I can properly see it, because that's the best way for me to do it quickly, because I don't really know how to use this.
Yeah, it's not the quickest way because in my head, I've only used Zoom a handful of times. There's literally a chat function, just like every other streaming platform, where you can put things and people can go, oh, cool. Like KTZ's in here. We talk there's literally a tab called private chat. Going for another drink. Got to use the bathroom. It's literally right there and it pops up on the screen. So the fact that she sent it, he's already seen it. He just doesn't want to click on it.
Chat function in Zoom.
Ms. McDonald, do you have the ability to email it to him?
I'm looking for the email.
Yep, it's at the top for the motion to show cause, as well as the bottom of the motion for dismissal.
His email is probably like giantpussy69
but,
at gmail.com.
I can also just read it to you if you'd like that.
If you can put that into the chat so I can make sure that I don't spell it wrong, that would be great.
Well, as I've told you, I don't know how to use the chat.
She almost got him.
So we're streaming live to YouTube, Mr. Schuster. Would you like to read your email for anyone who's watching YouTube to listen to and hear?
I mean, they can email me. I don't mind.
Then
Yeah.
Don't say that.
spell out
Don't
your
email
for
him,
Ms.
please.
McDonald.
Do you know how to spell my last name, Miss McDonald?
Please
It's on
just spell
screen.
it out. Let's just be as clear as possible. Can you spell your last name for her?
Yeah. Are you ready, Miss McDonald?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And, it's actually pretty ironic that you say that about the email, but then mailing addresses are said out loud too. So that's just kind of ironic
So far,
that you would mention that.
yeah, well,
But
as I said at the beginning,
nonetheless,
at the
it's
beginning
okay.
of court, everything's being broadcast on YouTube, but
Oh, I know.
we
But
need to
nonetheless,
respond to the fact that you
Old Squishy Gardner, I believe, cut it out. So you guys won't have to email him.
have changed your address repeatedly. Ms.
nonetheless,
McDonald
that's
is
just
emailing you.
ironic.
Ms. McDonald is emailing you a copy of a plea offer. that
Cool. You said you were going to send that in the mail as well. So, or
No,
information in the mail?
that's not coming in the mail. It's coming via email right now. You have the
Oh,
opportunity to
I'm
review
talking
it right
about
now.
like the other information she was.
No, that's already been sent in the mail. You need to go to wherever those addresses were to get your discovery. The discovery was sent out on February 10th, approximately a week and a half after you gave that address on the record.
On the record, when the judge denied subject matter jurisdiction
When you were in court on the record.
on that day, when she said she denied subject matter jurisdiction. Yes, I remember her denying subject matter jurisdiction.
You also gave an address. Ms. McDonald sent your discovery to that address about a week later.
So you're saying that you can't send that to the proper address, Ms. McDonald?
We've already sent it to both addresses that you've provided to the court.
What she's saying is you can't come to court once a month, change the address, have her send out discovery, and then come back a month later and say that wasn't the right address to send it to.
So you're not going to send it to the proper address. Okay.
Did that get sent, Ms. McDonald?
Yes, it did.
So, Mr. Schuster, you should be receiving an email from Ms. McDonald. That is Ms. McDonald's plea offer. I'm going to ask that you review that and then let us know if you'd like to accept that today or if you'd like to move forward with trial.
Well, I'm on the Zoom right now.
Right?
And so my
you go
email,
you
I'm
can
using
go
the
off
same.
camera and review your email.
What's that?
You can go off camera and review your email.
Okay, so I can just get off and then come back on?
I would
That's
prefer
what
if
she
you
said.
stay signed on to Zoom and just go off of camera and review your email.
Okay. Let me see if I can do this without getting off. Because as I've stated, I don't really know how to use Zoom like that.
If you get disconnected, you know how to get back on it.
Okay. One moment.
Can you mute yourself, Mr. Schuster, and turn your camera off to read your email?
Oh, I saw that Carmen had sent something over.
Yes, you need to open it and review it.
Oh, it says what you had said on the record, correct?
No, it's an entire form. It's about, see how many pages that is? About 8 pages.
Mr. Schuster, are you reading the document that Ms. McDonald sent to you? Are you reviewing the document that Ms. McDonald sent to you?
Okay, cool. Got it off mute. Oh, so I see everything that you've sent over. Obviously, I'd probably have to look at it longer to make sure I
I'm
read
asking
it
you to do that.
carefully.
I'm asking you to do that now. We're going to go back on the record.
Oh, okay. It just might take some time. I've gotten through some of it, but for me to understand what's going on, I definitely would have to read it. I don't know if you have enough time for all of that, but
So now what he's doing is the exact same bullshit sovereign citizen game that they all play. Oh, on top of changing his address every court hearing, oh, well, now we're going to have to, take a break, maybe come back at a different time because I'm going to have to read this. They're dropping 2 charges if you plead guilty to 1. Do you want that or not? Like, that's what it is. Like, what are you doing? And yeah, apparently I know how to give out mods on Twitch now, so what's up with that? But yeah, well, see, that's the problem, is they need to hold him in contempt if he doesn't know how to use Zoom, make him appear in person. The first two were in person, and he acted arguably worse in person. So in my opinion, he should have already been held in contempt twice. So I don't know why they're allowing him to do Zoom this time if he's already acting like an asshole. All he needs is a Lions jersey, BSBT style. Wears the same Lions shirt to every single court hearing.
If you do, I don't mind, taking the time to fully get into it.
Ms. McDonald, you're on mute.
If he's asking for more time to go over the city's offer and to consider that, I don't have an objection to continuing the matter if he agrees to waive speedy trial.
Oh no.
Well, if you don't wish to waive speedy
He's the one. He by himself is the only one ruining his chance at a speedy trial. He keeps changing his address every single court hearing. And now he's saying, oh, I don't have enough time to read this, even though she told him what it was. If I recall, it was dropping the 2 charges, pleading guilty to 1, fines and time served or something like that, which Paul Unslaved got on me about this because he was talking out of his ass. If I was a prosecutor, if I was a judge, same thing as a cop. If you're chill with me, cool, I'll treat you better than normal if you aren't an asshole. But as soon as you become an asshole, it's like, why would I want to do anything to help you out? If you were not giving it, why would I give it back? You know what I mean? Like, if this guy's acting like an asshole, this is the 3rd time doing nothing but fuck around. No, we're not doing any plea deals. We're going to take this to a jury trial. All the charges, all the consequences, eat shit. That's what should happen. And there's nothing wrong with that. But sovereign citizens are like, oh, that means you're targeting us. It's like, targeting you for what? Wasting the court's time and intentionally being an asshole? Like, come on. To be fair, BSBT only owns 2 shirts. Yes. AJ, Lake Forest is a suburb of Seattle, northeast of Seattle. Lived there years and years ago. I'm glad you got out before this guy. This guy looks younger. I'm glad you got out before this guy.
trial, then
Well, if she doesn't want to give me more time, then I guess we just got to.
Well, the problem is, Mr. Schuster, you have to be brought to trial within 90 days of your arraignment date. And so your trial is scheduled for next week. But if you want to take advantage of the city's
on the
offer,
11th,
right? If you want to take advantage of
9 a.m.
if you want to take advantage of the city's offer, and you want more time to review it, unfortunately, you would need to set over that trial date.
Well, I can counter to you.
If somebody can actually do me a favor, find me Lake Forest Park Court on YouTube, because if they're going to do this whole live streaming his trial, I would love to stream that. Apparently that's my thing now, streaming sovereign citizens in court. Call me Law Talk with Mike. I need like a better shirt for it, if you will. I need to show more chest hair like Mike. But yeah, if somebody can find me that, or I'll go to Lake Forest Park after this. If somebody wants to remind me, I'll look that up to see if it's still on.
You right now, if you'd like.
I'm happy to go in a breakout room.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know that these are necessarily conversations to have on the record, but
if you want to go into a breakout room, in other words, go into a separate Zoom room with just Ms. McDonald so you can discuss her offer, I'm happy to allow you to do that right now.
Okay, how does that work? How do we do that on Zoom?
I can do that. I can put you in a breakout room. You'll get an invitation.
Do I
Something
need it? Okay.
pop up on your screen for you to accept.
Okay, so just wait until something pops up.
Yep, I'm going to put you in there right now. It will be into room 1.
How would I come back though?
There will be a button on the bottom right that says leave breakout room and back to main session.
Okay, so it says join breakout room. Prosecutor McDonald is inviting you to join room 1. So I
Yes.
just click join.
Yes. and I'll be in
Okay.
there.
All right.
All right. Wish me luck.
We're just waiting for Madam Clerk to come back.
Hey, Judge, can you hear me?
I can, Mr. Schuster.
Hey, I know you posted that on Twitch, but can you post it on YouTube? For some reason on my phone, it's not letting me click the link on Twitch.
So 9 a.m. the 11th, is that what it is?
We're not on the record and we don't have a clerk yet, so
Oh, okay. If we're not on the record, I guess I could ask this. Are you going to be there on the 11th, or is your higher judge or higher up going to be the one who's there?
should be Judge Grant.
Oh, okay. I was expecting to see her today. That's too bad. You said we're just waiting for the clerk?
We are. We're not on the record.
Oh, okay, cool.
Schuster
What is he
back.
doing?
So we're back on the record with Jonathan Schuster for A0525748. Mr. Schuster had an opportunity to speak with Ms. McDonald in the breakout room. And Ms. McDonald, where are we?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm a little bit concerned because it didn't appear that Mr. Schuster was, and I was kind of having a hard time discerning whether or not it was a willingness or an ability to track the conversation.
Oh, objection. I
Oh.
definitely have the ability to have a conversation and track what's going on. I offered her a counter and she didn't want to take it. And so that's where we are, ma'am.
Okay, what do you guys think his counter was? I don't know if he's going to say it, but what do you think his counter was? Was it dismissed all charges and I won't sue you? I think that's what his counter was.
So I do have some concerns there. Also, Your Honor, I did just pull up his criminal history. It appears that he does have an active warrant out for his arrest for a DUI.
Active warrant.
SMC bench warrant from 2/14/25.
Yes, that is the one. So I have a couple of concerns. The concern is the defendant is saying he doesn't have discovery. He has not read the reports. I asked him several times if he was prepared to proceed to trial on all 3 charges next
And
week.
I told her 9 o'clock on the 11th, I will be there.
So
This is why he doesn't care. The discovery doesn't matter to a sovereign citizen because he's just going to go down the same dumbass rabbit hole that the sovereign citizen did yesterday in my live stream. The one that was accused of murder, where the prosecutor was like, yeah, we actually have you on HD video shooting the guy in the head and stealing his dog. Shout out KTZ. Can't forget about the dog. Yeah, that's all he's going to say. He's going to go down the same thing. Oh, I have the right to travel, Black's Law Dictionary, yada, yada. He's going to cherry pick some sentences from some case law that disagrees with him. That's what he's going to do. So the discovery doesn't matter. And him not having the interlock device on his car when he should kind of falls in line perfectly if he's got a warrant for a DUI. Beamstock, what's up? And yes, I did find their website or their YouTube. Actually, let me get a pen real quick. Oh, God. Okay. March 11th, 9 a.m. My absolutely destroyed. All right, here we go. March 11th, 9 a.m. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how well that's going to go, but yeah, he doesn't care about discovery.
Mean, Mr. Schuster, that you're intending to go to trial without.
Right. And you're saying there's an open warrant? Is that King County? Is that who that's with?
So, Mr. Schuster, the Seattle Municipal Court issued a bench warrant for $5,000 on February 14th, 2025.
Okay. And so I'll need to obviously reach out to them so that we can get that quashed and taken care of.
That is true. You will need to do that.
Which I will do as soon as we're done here.
My expectation, if we're having another hearing next week, is that you will have done that before the next hearing.
Oh, 100%. No need to be walking around with warrants. That is unacceptable.
So, Ms. McDonald, are you raising 1077?
well, I would ask that the court engage in a colloquy because like I said, I was having a difficult time assessing that because I don't know if it's an inability to track it
Objection.
appropriately or if it's
Nothing to
unwillingness.
So Ms. McDonald is asking that I ask you some questions to make sure you're able to proceed.
Objection, Your Honor.
All right, guys, before we get to the objection, I know BSBT or one of his dumbass subscribers is going to be listening to this. Even this sovereign citizen thinks walking around with warrants is unacceptable. Do better. Ed, not only do I take notes on my... I bought this mini notepad for college, like, a million years ago when I got this degree that some people think don't exist or doesn't exist. It's where I keep all of my Supreme Court decisions, my conversation with a lawyer that I had out of Michigan about the Michigan Constitution, Section 4, and, the actual federal Constitution, about why courthouses can tell you that there's no cell phones allowed in the building, all the way out to the parking lot, if they chose to do so. But on top of having that where I leave notes, I also have this calendar that literally I only use to keep track of sovereign citizen court cases to stream them. Mrs. Kfar bought me this little calendar so that I could remember things because, as you guys know, my brain is mush, and that's how I remember YouTube things. KTZ has notebooks on her merch shop. If anybody wants to post a link, that's a mod to the KTZ merch store, which also houses the KFAR merch store.
Mr. Schuster, there's nothing to object
It's been
to.
on the record. I'm ready for whatever we need to do on the 11th outside of quashing this warrant that I just recently found out, as you said it. I didn't even know that was a thing. So now I have to just...
And do you know why he probably didn't know about the warrant? He probably didn't know about the warrant because he keeps changing the address, so he probably didn't get any paperwork in regards to his court date for it.
take care of that. The 11th, I will be there at 9 a.m.
So Mr. Schuster, I'm going to ask you some questions. First and foremost, do you know what happens at a trial?
Do I know what happens at a trial? Yes.
Can you describe that to me?
What happens at a trial where we meet and go over the facts and determine whether or not that I will be charged with the allegations against me.
So who decides whether you're guilty of the allegations against you?
Well, of course, it's a trial jury.
So who's on a jury?
Well, my people. I mean, it's a people of, it's the people. Obviously, it's a jury trial.
Do you know the difference between a bench trial and a jury trial?
Yes.
What's the difference?
One, there's people who make the decision, and one, the bench makes the decision.
And who's the bench?
Well, I believe I'm speaking with her currently.
So the judge is the bench.
I'm the magistrate.
What are you charged with right now?
You want me to say it off my memory or read the actual
Tell me.
charges from the, because I have my paper. I can go get it real quick so I can
I
read
don't
it.
need you to read it to me. I need you to tell me to the best of your ability what you're charged.
Okay, yeah. You're charging me with, or the allegations are driving with a license suspended, 3rd degree, no interlock device, failure to comply. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
You know what the maximum penalty for each of those charges is?
Not off the top of my head. No way. I'd have to look at my notes.
Do you understand that DWS 3rd degree is a misdemeanor punishable by 90 days in jail and $1,000 fine?
I understand the allegations against me, correct?
And that there's also a gross misdemeanor punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine?
I do understand the allegations against me.
What would the city have to prove if he went to trial?
That the allegations are true. They'd have to have an injured party show that the allegations are true. And of course, they'd be able to present their beliefs over to the jury, and the jury decides. I'm not sure what we're doing here. I mean,
Asking you questions about the trial process to make sure that you understand the trial process.
well, I have the right to present myself
Yes and no.
in court, and that's what I'd like to do.
Ms. McDonald, I'm not getting enough to raise 1077 at this point, although I do understand your concerns.
Right.
I have concerns over Prosecutor McDonald and her ability to understand what's going on, but that's okay. I'm not going to raise
So
any.
basically, what
any
the prosecutor and the judge just agreed on was, well, he's not retarded, but he's borderline. That's what they just agreed upon. And then in retaliation, he goes, I have some questions about the prosecutor. Sir, at least the prosecutor knows how to use Zoom. This is the calendar for March, folks. We've got his case 9 a.m. on this Tuesday, and then Eric Martin on Monday of the next week. So we're good to go calendar-wise. I think there's a Chris Ryder case in there somewhere. I want to say on the 17th or 18th. But I'll add that at some points once I look that up again to double check.
challenges or anything against that.
Well, you
I
don't,
just want that noted. But regardless, I did give her a counteroffer, which was very reasonable. She
Tell us
declined.
what it was.
And so the next step would be, I mean, for this court would be the 11th at 9 a.m. Is that correct? Is that the right time?
that's correct. Ms. McDonald, do you have the ability to send over the electronic discovery to the courthouse for Mr. Schuster to pick up?
So we would have to, so the electronic discovery, we have the body worn camera and all of that information that had to be burned onto CDs and sent to him because it's too large to send.
You said
KT said he looks like he smells like patchouli. Yes. Second, this is master plan, mastermind KFAR here. Require him to come to the courthouse to get the discovery and then arrest him on his warrant. That's how I would do it because I'm a good guy. Oh God, Mag D5, you're killing me because now you posted it. Now I got to talk about it. So if you guys looked at my community post from 10 o'clock today, 9 o'clock today, Chris was actually in court for his court date for the 6th, and they have kicked his court date after Chris was like, they're gonna dismiss it. They're gonna dismiss it. They kicked it to next year, March, for a jury trial. And from what I'm hearing from people who were there, the judge had to reiterate to Chris that you can have no contact with your victim, which is JJ. And Chris's attorney, like a dummy, was like, well, judge, can we make it so JJ can't have any contact with him? And again, from the people who were there, the judge said something along the lines of, sir, he's the victim. We're not going to tell him to do anything. So Chris, again, isn't supposed to go talking about JJ, talking to JJ, yada, yada. We'll see if he breaks that, which I think he's going to. Chris should be in jail for breaking bond conditions like 3 seconds after he got out. Yeah, it's just the little things, just like BSBT. I would have him, oh, Taylor Court wants you to come down. We're going to dismiss your charges. We just need you to sign something. And then the moment he gets down there, ha, you have a warrant for 3 charges. You ran out on a jury trial. Your jury trial is now tomorrow. It's just about holding these people accountable because they want to hold everyone else accountable without holding themselves accountable, which is just the most hypocritical way to do anything.
So that was all sent out to his address. We would have to
You
redo
said
all of.
CDs, you said?
Yes.
Some of the body worn cameras on CDs because it's too large to send any other way, Mr. Schuster.
You still use CDs. Is that what that is wild.
I agree.
Well, you are held to the same standard as attorneys, and attorneys are expected to.
I'm just surprised that you still use CDs.
Is there anyone that your office could, ABC Legal or something like that, that your office could get that over here quicker than the US mail?
Well, we would certainly be able to bring it to, our office isn't that far from the courthouse, so it's not a difficulty in the transportation. It's just it would take my office probably the better part of the afternoon or tomorrow morning to get all of those burned to another set of CDs, because there's several.
So if I ordered that, your office bring a set of discovery here, for Mr. Schuster to pick up, after 10 a.m. on Friday, would that be doable?
I would think so.
Okay, so Mr. Schuster, I'm going to have Ms. McDonald's office make you another copy of the discovery, burn the electronic medium onto CDs, and it's going to be available for you here at the court window after 10 a.m. on Friday. That is going to be the only additional discovery that you get. You need to find a way without driving to get here or get someone here to pick that up for you. That will be the
I didn't
only-
even. Oh no, I clicked on the wrong one. I love how he's shocked that they use CDs but doesn't know how to use Zoom. Yeah, that is kind of hilarious, because it's like, oh, how dare you use such outdated technology? But in the same breath, I don't know where the chat function is in Zoom. Also, I feel like at this point, a USB stick is probably way cheaper than it used to be, but yeah, tis what it is. Oh, yeah, I guess that does make sense. Government offices are forced to use only CDs. Flash drives can easily drop nasty viruses on government computers. That's a solid reason.
only additional copy of the discovery for you will be for you to retrieve. The courthouse is closed on Saturdays and Sundays. So if you want to prepare for your trial, I recommend that you come Friday after 10 a.m. to do so.
And I'm wondering if we can just pass this for a moment so that Mr. Schuster, I would ask that he read the plea form through in its entirety, because I think that does impart some of the things that he needs to take into consideration, which I don't think that he's necessarily considered, while we take the plea on the Partida Garcia matter.
I'm ready to proceed to trial on the 11th.
Yes, on the 11th at 9 a.m. We fucking
outside
know.
of quashing the warrant with, you said it was Seattle Municipal or King County?
Seattle Municipal Court.
Seattle Municipal. Outside of quashing that warrant, I am ready. I do have one question though.
Jurisdiction.
This is a criminal matter, so who was the injured party exactly?
The city of Lake Forest Park has
The
filed
city
charges.
of Lake Forest Park. Okay, and they'll be present at the trial. I'll be able to face them.
They are represented by Ms. McDonald's office.
So the city is the plaintiff as well as the judge. Is that what you're saying?
The city is not the judge. The
Lake
city,
Forest Park is not the magistrate for this matter?
Lake Forest Park is the municipality in which this court takes place. Judge Grant will likely be here next week. She is the judge. She does not represent the city. The city is represented by Ms. McDonald's office.
So the judge doesn't work for the city at all, is what you're saying?
She is a neutral arbiter of matters. She is not representing the city.
So she doesn't work for the city?
No, she works for the courts and the court system.
Ah, okay. And
Ms.
during
McDonald-
trial, the prosecution will be able to bring the injured party forward, correct?
During trial, the prosecutor will be afforded the opportunity to bring forth its witnesses. I suspect that will be.
No, I'm saying the injured party.
I'm talking, Mr. Schuster. Okay.
Oh, I hear you. I just wanted to make sure
The
it was clear what I
prosecutor
said.
has the ability to bring forward its witnesses. They have the right to cross-examine any witnesses that you bring forward. You are allowed to bring forward witnesses at no expense to you. You do have to comply with the court rules in terms of giving Ms. McDonald notice of any witnesses that you intend to call. So you can't show up on the day of trial having not notified her of potential witnesses and suddenly
Okay.
this is on her.
Okay, I guess I wasn't clear when I asked you because I wasn't asking about witnesses. I was asking about the injured party.
There doesn't
She's
have
been,
to be a named injured party. The
well,
allegation,
I have the right to face
you have the right
to
to
face the injured party who's
cross-examine.
making these allegations against me.
You have
And
the
you,
right to
so
present.
Okay, so let's break this down because I'm sick and fucking tired of this argument. I hate to talk about BSBT, but I have this conversation with him and what is her name that's always on Facebook trying to suck him off? Oh, Tharitha Lynn. They always say no victim, no crime. Even though in the definition of crime, it states things like drug crimes that don't have a victim other than society. And that's still, to law, a crime. It falls under the definition of crime. So even the definition of crime disagrees with them on no victim, no crime. Yet this dude is still peddling this bullshit in 2025. He's about to go to a jury trial and lose because he's too stupid to understand the law. It just pisses me off because it's like you go back and forth with these grown-ass human beings, you prove them wrong time and time and time and time again, and they just won't learn. Yeah, oh God. If you guys didn't watch my live stream yesterday about the alleged murderer sovereign citizen, he said with a straight face, I need a living injured party or a living victim to be in court for my trial. Dude, you on video shot the guy in the head and he died. How is there going to be a living injured party coming to court? You killed them. By that logic, you could just run around killing people, never be held accountable because, oh, well, the injured party's dead, so I guess he's not coming to court. Like, is that because he overstands the law? Yeah. These people are like the lowest IQ, bottom of the barrel human beings.
she'll be able
Mr.
to.
Schuster, stop. You have the right to present
Okay.
a case on your own behalf. You have the right to hear and call witnesses at no expense to you. You have the right to question the city's witnesses. Okay, you have the right to cross-examine their witnesses.
Cross-examine
I
the
also have
dog.
the right
Does
to
not
face
have to
somebody
be a
who's
per se
alleging.
injured party, which is what you're getting
Well,
at.
I mean, in a criminal matter, there definitely needs to be an injured party.
Your Honor,
Well,
perhaps we could take the plea and get the interpreter out of here, because I think Mr. Schuster's might take a little bit longer.
Oh, I mean,
We're gonna pass on Mr. Schuster's matter and take
I'm
him.
done. So, I mean, is there anything
You're
else
not
we
done,
need
you're not
before?
done, Mr. Schuster. You're gonna stay on
Oh.
the line. We're gonna take this plea so that we can get Mr. Interpreter out of here. And then
Oh, okay. You wanted to talk with the other one. Okay, yeah, I can wait
Okay.
for them to finish so that we can
Great.
finish this up.
let's do that. You ready to go back on the record on Mr. Schuster's case?
I think so.
So this again is Jonathan Schuster, 4A0.
And I hate to break in and have another rant. He's not too stupid. He's too arrogant. He believes that he's clever enough to talk everyone or you know what I'm saying. Trying to read here. Yeah. Okay. I changed my mind. I agree with you. Which seems to be a sovereign citizen trait where they think they're the smartest person in the room when to date, they've never been even near the top of intelligent people in a room. This is the thing that kills me is he's facing a DUI and has a warrant for his DUI. If you weren't good enough to talk your way out of a DUI, how do you think you're going to talk your way out of something as simple as not having a license and not having an interlock device, which you're required to have on your car? That's like a real easy thing to prove. Here's the video of where the interlock device was supposed to be, and it's not there. Therefore, he doesn't have it installed. Hey, can I have your license? Oh, I don't have a valid license. Oh, done. The burden of evidence is a lot higher and like a lot easier to prove when it's a DUI where it's, yeah, see here, guy, it's, you blew a point, 1.5. You were hammered. Like if that didn't happen, he could talk his way out of it, but he couldn't. So he just apparently didn't show up. The DA is the accuser. Yeah, he doesn't. I hate to ramble on about the whole no victim, no crime thing, but it's such a dumbass thing. And then they always try to say corpus delicti without understanding what that actually means. It is the body of proof or the body of evidence saying that you did something. They take that as, oh, we need an actual body to prove that I did something. And it's like, no, we just need the body of evidence. Because if that was the case, again, you could kill someone and be like, oh, well, we haven't found the body, but there's 12 gallons of blood, scratch marks and everything, but there's no body, so you can't prove it. Shit kills me.
0525748.
Yes, I am here.
So when we last left off, we were, I believe, setting this for trial next week.
Yeah. I did want to clarify some things from earlier, if that's okay with you, ma'am.
He's going to double
Okay.
down on dumb.
Because you had denied both of the motions, and I just want to make sure I understand correctly why they were denied.
Because
So
they're nonsense.
would you
Frivolous.
be able to repeat that, please?
So again, as I stated before, your motion to dismiss is based on an allegation that this court does not have jurisdiction over driving offenses based on the right to travel articulated under the federal and state constitutions. The federal and state constitutions do not limit the states and municipalities' rights to impose traffic laws or driving requirements such as driving licenses and things like that. So there's no federal preemption of these laws. They are appropriately codified and appropriately enforced in the city of Lake Forest Park. So there is subject matter jurisdiction that this court has based on the fact that these offenses are alleged to have occurred in the city of Lake Forest Park. There is subject matter jurisdiction because this court is authorized by statute to function and to enforce these laws. And so for those reasons, your motion to dismiss is denied.
Okay. And so essentially,
Aero Scout member for 16 months, which is a hell of a long time. Thank you. And jurisdiction is proven to the court, not him. Yeah, the judge just nailed it 3 seconds ago. I don't know if you just heard it. The alleged offense took place within Lake Forest Park. Therefore, it would come to reason that Lake Forest Park would be the jurisdiction that he would have to be tried in. But for some reason, they just can't get that in their head.
it's because they don't limit the state municipalities' ability to impose driving statutes. Is that correct?
Yes, you've cited the right to travel broadly articulated in the federal constitution. Nothing about that is contradictory to Washington's right to impose driving licensing requirements, and nothing about that federal constitutional law prohibits the city of Lake Forest Park from enforcing traffic regulations.
Okay. So it was denied because they do not limit the state's municipalities' ability to impose driving regulations.
So this court does have subject matter jurisdiction. We will be going forward unless you want to enter a guilty plea today with a trial next week. Is this going to be a bench or a jury trial?
Jury.
Oh, a jury trial, for sure.
What's that? Okay. So we will set this for a jury trial next week. Again, Mr. Schuster, discovery will be available to you at the counter at the courthouse after 10 a.m. on Friday. It is the court's expectation that if you want to review that prior to trial, that you come down here and pick it up. There's not going to be a third mailing of discovery to a new address. The court's not going to entertain next week any kind of arguments for continuances based on you not coming down here or having someone come down here and pick that up. Ms.
Okay.
Not going to keep mailing things to different places.
Would the court
Okay.
setting an intervening pretrial for Monday as well?
We can certainly do that. Trial hearing for Monday.
I won't be able to attend on Monday. Tuesday would be the soonest I'd be able to make it to court.
I would ask for Monday, and I would ask that it be in person, Your Honor,
Um,
so that we can make sure that he's had the opportunity to review the discovery, and we can have those assurances prior to calling in a jury.
I am gonna require you to be in court on Monday morning, Mr. Schuster, 9 a.m. in person.
I
Add it
don't
to the
have the
fucking
ability to
list.
make it on Monday, ma'am.
Why is that?
Well, first, I do have other obligations with work. Outside of that, I had set up transportation to make it up there because, as you both know, I don't drive. And so I had set up transportation for Tuesday specifically to make sure I'd be able to attend that. And so I have no problem attending on Tuesday. I just don't have the ability to physically get there on Monday. Outside, I mean, plus I have to work. Obviously, work isn't the main thing, but I just physically don't have the ability to make it there on Monday.
Well, then we'll set this for Tuesday. Is the court's expectation that you're gonna come pick up the discovery? We're not gonna entertain continuance motions based on not picking up the discovery.
Of course, of course.
Well, Your Honor, and the other reason that I'm asking that we set it for Monday and that he be required to come is we also have the Goodwin matter that we are still anticipating will be set for trial that week as well. And by then, we're going to have a lot more information. And I do want to ensure before we walk through the door on Tuesday morning to start trial that Mr. Schuster is prepared.
Ma'am, I am 100. I'm ready outside of the warrant that was brought to my attention today. But during the recess, I actually had a chance to fill out the forms on the Seattle Municipal Court site. So
I'm more concerned about the discovery and the body worn camera footage and
since prior to the recess, I am 100% ready for Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Again, because like I said earlier in one of my rants, he does not care about discovery. He only cares about his dumbass guru packet that he bought online from some dumbass saying, oh yeah, Black's Law Dictionary this, or Black's Law Dictionary 2nd edition this, these Supreme Court cases say this one sentence in the, differing opinion, shit like that. That's what he's relying on. He's relying on sovereign citizen shit to get him out of this instead of any discovery of him not doing what he's accused of doing.
My concern, Ms. McDonald, is, to his point, if he doesn't have transportation, I'm not going to ask him to drive here.
then at the very least, do one via Zoom. I prefer it to be in person, but I do think that we need to have that.
If you need me here on Zoom, I can definitely do Zoom. That's okay with me. I just physically can't be there on Monday.
Okay.
So Edward, I believe that that's what the prosecutor is thinking, where he's not going to show, but if we can get him here in person Monday, he can get picked up for his warrant Monday. That way we can guarantee that he's somewhere we can find him on Tuesday for the trial. Because more than likely, if he goes at 9 a.m., just because from experience, if you show up at 9 a.m. and get arrested, they are going to bring you to Seattle, which apparently it's not that far away. They're either going to bring you there that day and have you seen by their judge that day for your warrant and then released, or you're going to be held until your trial there. And if you're held until your trial there, they can easily just bus you over to this place Tuesday morning to face these charges. So it's kind of like, hey, I want him in person so we can grab him so that we know he shows up for everything that he's required to show up to, instead of going, oh, I didn't get the paperwork for my trial. That's why I had a warrant.
Then that's what we'll do. We'll set a pretrial hearing for Monday. You are authorized to appear on Zoom on Monday, but on Tuesday you are ordered to appear in person.
Okay, and so this went from a readiness back to a pretrial, correct? And then Tuesday we go to trial?
Yes. So today was the readiness hearing. We're gonna set a pretrial on Monday, and on Tuesday will be trial.
Okay. Okay. And then other than that, did you have anything else for me?
Anything else you need to address today, Ms. McDonald?
No, Your Honor, I was just double checking my officers. I think we're good on availability, so.
You said what now? Your offices were good on availability?
My officers, the witnesses that are going to testify?
Oh, gotcha. It was Carlsbad, I think, or something like that. Either way.
They're all listed in the report.
Would have been in your
Gotcha.
discovery
And
packet.
again, Mr. Schuster, the conditions of release in the meantime are that you make all of your court appearances, notify the court of any address changes within 24 hours, no criminal law violations, no driving without a license and insurance. I do expect you to address that Seattle Municipal Court warrant. I'm not sure if they'll be able to clear it by next week, but at the very least, there should be a docket entry indicating that you've set up a hearing to do so. And all other previously imposed conditions remain.
Are you familiar with Seattle Municipal at all, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Because when I went to the website regarding warrants, there was a form for motions to quash warrants.
Mhm.
Do you know anything about that?
I know that some warrants can be quashed administratively and some warrants you have to show up in person.
Well,
So
just in terms of the process and how to.
I'm just going to say this, that part of the website should not exist. You should not be able to be like, oh, I am aware of my warrant. We'll take care of it at some point and then submit paperwork. It should be turn your ass into the court and we'll handle it, or we'll arrest you the next time you're caught driving, eating ice cream on the side of the road. There should be no staying out of court, because if that's the case, you can just keep going and just keep, oh yeah, we'll just quash this warrant. I'll take care of it at some point, and then when the next warrant pops up, do the exact same thing.
Make sure it's handled correctly. Because when I was on the site, essentially what I was getting, I just filled out the form and then submitted it, and then it sent me an email telling me that I would need to wait for contact. Does that
Shit.
sound correct to what you know?
the court normally will contact you to tell you if they can administratively quash the warrant or if they need to set a hearing. However, given the quick turnaround, I recommend you call them tomorrow and talk to someone at the clerk's office in person.
Oh, that's good advice. Thank you.
Okay?
Okay. Well, there's nothing else on my end. Was there anything with you two?
Don't believe there's anything else today.
Okay, so Monday 9 a.m. Correct?
Monday, 9 a.m. Zoom is okay. Tuesday, 9 a.m. in person.
All right. I shall see you Monday. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
All right, folks, that's the video. Go thank old Squishy Gardner for that. Oh God. All right, so we got 9 a.m. Monday on Zoom. Let me write down Zoom so I'm not looking for his dumbass in court. There we go. Zoom. And then on the 11th at 9 a.m. All right, good to go. I'm glad we got something to do next week. The judge is practicing law from the bench. Yeah, Mag D5, you're not wrong. It's just law is not taken serious in some places, and it's just terrifying to me. See, Cool Clearwater, I'm fine with some Zoom cases, because for the normal person who's like got to be seen for a traffic ticket, Zoom makes sense. You call in for 5 seconds, you take care of your ticket, you're good to go. But then sovereign citizens and just dumbasses ruin it for everyone. Like this case, he's been in court twice already for it, and then this was his first Zoom. He could have taken care of it the first hearing. Been like, yep, I'm guilty. Do your worst. and accepted the punishment for his failed responsibilities. But instead, he bullshitted, and then the next one he bullshitted again, and now we're here. And it's just like, this guy should never be able to touch anything that resembles Zoom ever again in his life. Same thing with BSBT. Everything should be in court, in person. I don't care if they stream it on YouTube. I think almost every court should be streamed on YouTube for transparency, outside of like anything to do with children. But yeah, I think they should all be streamed on YouTube, but sometimes, like sovereign citizens, the moment you're on Zoom and they say something about a sovereign citizen or the right to travel, the judge should say, all right, we're going to stop right here. See you in court in 3 hours. You better be in court or shit's going to go south. We're not going to allow you to do this dumb shit. Is it his fourth or his third? Because I've seen the first two of him in person with the two different judges, but what's his job? Weed dealer? Hey. Yeah, or anything with witness protection for sure. Let me scroll up. This guy's a royal douche. Yep, I agree. I'm untrusting of Restream's chat right now. So I'm on my phone trying to scroll through to see if I missed anything. Yeah, Simpson does that. Yeah, that's the moment you get a sovereign citizen on Zoom court, you should say, okay, it's 9 a.m. now. You are expected in person by 2 p.m. Make it happen. And make sure that you tell them, like, you ruined this for yourself by trying to play games. The last time he was in jail, oh, God. And also, I enjoy this court because they leave everything on YouTube, which I think you should. I think every court that streams on YouTube, their shit should just stay on YouTube as the record and not delete it right after. All right. All right. That's it. That's all I got. You're probably not going to see me until tomorrow. Because I have things to do. I have to rehab my office where the chickens were living because they wanted to throw wood chips and shit everywhere. Yeah, I only recall the 3, but if he was in jail the last time, I may have missed that. Like I said, you probably won't see me until tomorrow, maybe even Saturday, unless something crazy happens, like, a frauditor gets pepper sprayed or pepper sprays someone else, a sovereign citizen goes live and get arrested, something like that. Yeah, that's it. Everybody have a good rest of your day. It's only 1:17, dear God. Alrighty. See you guys in the next one.